Hello, boys and girls of YouTube. I swear by this episode, I thought I'd have this thing running by now. Unfortunately, if you watch the last video, kind of make reference to having a day job. Well, I have a day job, and that unfortunately does consume a lot of my time. So I get in here when I can and do what I can when I can. So really, the last two things I really had to do before I get this thing even attempt to start. I had a problem last year with the RPM signal. There's a video way back kind of showing the computer screen with the RPM jumping from like, I don't know, 1500 to 9 grand. And it wasn't me doing it. It was basically noise in the line. And what I had to do, and what you're kind of looking at now, is all the wiring for that, for the ECU. So one of the problems I think I had it, there was a little bit of line wire that wasn't shielded. So I'm replacing that, and that's what this gray wire here is for. So I reran it from getting a magnetic pickup signal from the distributor that'll produce the RPM going through this line, and I've got to backtrack that line right there all the way to the little area that isn't shielded. So I'm hoping that's the problem, and once I do that, and also gotta remember, boys and girls, if you ever are using shielded wire, only one side of the wire gets grounded. On this, it connects to the box, and the box is grounding that. So I don't have to ground it to the motor or anything, because the box is already has a ground from the motor to the box that'll ground that out. So that was still got to do that. And once I do that, the only thing I really, well, I guess technically I didn't have to do it. There's a relay, excuse me, as we cross over the car. See that relay hanging down? I got to replace that relay. That relay is for my neutral safety switch. Basically, the way the switch is wired up in this car, it has a ground. The ground goes through the switch when the shifter is in neutral or park. It'll have the ground connected, which will turn that solenoid on, which will allow the starter to engage once I hit the button to start the car. And what I think was happening with solenoids of that size, and again, I didn't think I had it drawing too much amps, but it might be, and it might be getting hot, because every so often, if I turn the car off and then try to turn it back on, if it's not giving it a little bit of a rest between starts, it doesn't want to seem to do anything. So it would indicate that something's not connecting. And I did make a connection to that relay, and when that happened, I replaced the relay real quick, and it started right up with when I replaced it was a new relay, and again had the same problem with the other relay. Then just swapped out the two relays back and forth, and it seemed to be the culprit. So I've got a heavier duty relay, got to wire in. So once I do that, once I reconnect the wire for the RPM signal, technically change the oil, give the car a good once over, make sure everything's good, and then start. Once I get it started, though, I definitely have to put a better tune in it. The tune in there is hopefully just enough to start it, because that was enough to start it last time and keep it running even when it was getting a crummy signal. So should be fine. Once I do that, again, let's go over the rest of the car, make sure everything's good, everything's tight. Take it on the road and see what we got. So hopefully you'll be there for that journey. All right, till next time.